Hello everyone, are you ready for another adventure? It's me, Woki, and I'm back with another Fake Grand Order video. And today we're going to do a grind and talk, where I'm just going to finish up the remaining things that I need to do for Super Goryokaku before the final pieces of the welfare come out that I need to get from fights. But that's going to be today's video. I hope you like it. If you do, I never ask for likes on the talking grind because I realize this video is mostly just me talking, and a lot of times it's not even talking about the game itself. It's just talking about whatever is interesting me at the moment as I try and finish off whatever I need to do. In this case, finish off Super Goryokaku. But if you want to tell me how your raid experience went, that's cool with me. Go for it. Feel free. And that's let's start the video. I had a failed video that you can see the remnants of, which is right here, Ryoma. Because I forgot that he did not have enough attack to deal with some of the bigger enemies in this specific event. Hello, Nobu Driver. So yeah, just to show you everything that I've got currently going, the only thing I really need are the lures, the golden foe, these silver pieces, and that's it. My raid experience went pretty well, which I can talk about the raid experience I had going for it. I did about a 50-50-50, which is 50 on the first raid, 50 on one of the fights in the second raid, and then 50 for the final boss that I did there. And I didn't even grind it at the hardest difficulty. I did the second to last because I was getting annoyed that it had a second HP bar. And I did not have a good enough archer for single target. The closest I had was Summer Castoria and Summer Castoria, no. Summer Saber. The original Saber in her archer form. And at MP5, and she did pretty okay. But I had an issue where I wasn't able to do enough damage to the final one. It was always off by just a little bit, and if I could pump the final bits of damage into her, but it would come at the cost of not being able to kill. Basically, the only way I could do it in one turn was that I had to have all her cards, and at least 2 of them had to be arts cards. So it wasn't working out for me. So I did the second to least, and that was second to last hardest one, and that one was insanely easy for me. So I wish there was some kind of damage seed, whatever, but it's okay, it's whatever. It does make me feel like I probably should increase the power of her at some point to be better, but I digress. So I did pretty good on the raids. I did enough to get more materials of what I wanted, and then just kind of chill after that. I don't do too crazy hard in terms of grinding. I grind until I'm pretty satisfied, and I was satisfied with that, to be honest with you. I know some people went crazy. They were like, I hit the money mark. I hit the most QP that you can currently own. And I'm like, well, I don't grind that way. But sounds good. I guess my next big grind is Lotto, which I have some stuff saved up for that, but you know, fine. But yeah, as you can see, I did enough of the raids grinding that I can have basically almost all my the points ladder completely done, because I wanted to be sure that I didn't have to grind too much outside of it to do anything else, which I'm glad to. And yeah, that's my current setup. That's how my raid experience went. So now we'll go into these fights. And for these fights, as much as I would really like to use some of the characters that maybe were more themed to the event, because of the insanely high HP pools, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just going to go for what I know works. And what I know works is my girl. To be honest, the one that I know for 100% sure works is actually Cuckoo, but I'm going to go in here with this because I was already going pretty heavy with Buster into the raids. The only one I didn't do was the last one, which I did with Arts instead, which went alright. That one was fine. That was the one that used Summer Saber and also Summer Ibuki to get the full effect of everything, and that one went alright. I like how that one went. So I'll go here. Go here. I'll go here, sure. Why not? And then I'll go here. And we'll see how much I get from this. Dance Frolic! It would be really funny if I actually did worse here than I did with Ryoma. But no, it's fine. I can trust her. I can trust her with just about anything. Okay. Now this is the true make or break, and unfortunately I got a little bit unlucky and I did not get any Ibuki cards, so if she does not instantly kill with this one, we might be in a little bit of trouble. I should have given her the black rail, that's what I fucking forgot to give, okay. This maybe shows that maybe my head is still in like La La Land at the moment. But it's okay, Summer Ibuki doesn't need the black rail apparently. I was wanting, yeah, it would have been really nice for this one though, wouldn't it have? Low delivery Nobu. I think this is actually the hardest one, if I remember right. So, do I have enough to completely? No, I don't. That's annoying. I don't want to risk losing her, so I'm gonna go here. I should have brought the black rail. This is totally one of those fights where you should have done it, but again, wasn't paying super attention to anything. I didn't even realize that this was the hardest one. I thought this was just one of the ones I missed. Yeah, no. Not enough. Nowhere near enough about the black rail. But that's just kind of the way it goes sometimes. If you don't know what the boss is or anything like that, you just kind of suffer. This gives 70, right? Yes. Nope. That was a waste. That's okay. I'll just go here and keep on fighting. But yeah, this is some terrible display, but this still is going better than the Ryoma one, who failed at the second one. So, no, are you kidding me? Did you really put up your evade? This is a catastrophe. This is terrible. This is terrible gameplay, which is a good thing no one's here for the gameplay, because if they did, they stopped watching the video the second I didn't go in there with the black grill. I sure am glad nobody watches me for the way I play FGO. Turns out I'm actually one of the worst FGO players you've ever seen, but you have seen me. So boom, take that, everyone who's much better at the game than me. What does that say about you? That means you should use your hate and go out there and start your own stuff, because you're better than me. Anyone can. Anyway. She's not dead from this. This stupid HP bar is so insanely big that it's not going to kill in any kind of capacity at all. It's actually just going to like kind of tickle her and she's going to go, that's funny. As long as she doesn't do kill Ibuki, then that would be great. Okay, this will give her some defense. Okay, I'm just going to put an end to this. And hope that this is enough to do the final bits of damage here and I can move on and actually give her the proper black rail. And go from here. Again, this should not have taken this long. I know for a fact that I could easily have returned this, and then I just was an idiot. That black rail is going to haunt me for the rest of my life. Yeah, okay, we get it. You guys have beef. You don't have to keep attacking my goddamn... Okay. Okay, she dies here. Otherwise, I would just put up the Castoria defense. But anyway. My brain ain't working the best. That's fine. But yeah, for the raid part, for the most part, while I was doing raid fights, what was I actually doing? I was watching a lot of the Twisted Metal show, which I don't remember if I brought up so far. I probably brought it up in the other episode, but I got through all of Season 1, and I'm like 3 episodes away from Season 2 that I need to finish, which I plan to do it maybe after I finish recording here, so I don't know. If you want my updated thoughts on it, then you can hear it there, but here's my current thoughts on it. Season 1, I don't think... Okay, so hear me out. I really dislike shows that do the following thing. If you do this at any point of your show, I'm like 2 steps away already kind of like done with your show if you do this. But I really dislike shows that are based off of a property and the first season is not in any way related to what you actually care about the show. Known people who have violated this rule, the new Mortal Kombat movie, which I have had arguments with my friend who said this is better than the one from the 90s, and I say, you're out of your fucking mind if you think that this movie is anywhere near the amazing 90s version. Because in Mortal Kombat, if I told you to your face, what do you know about Mortal Kombat? Okay, it has Scorpion, it has Sub-Zero, it has fatalities. But the thing you know about Mortal Kombat is that there is a Mortal Kombat tournament. So if I told you, what do you know about Mortal Kombat 1, you would go, okay, there's a tournament to decide the fate of Outworld. And if you don't know Mortal Kombat, then you don't know that, I guess. I guess that's fair enough. But to me, when it comes to Mortal Kombat, that's the base level that we're talking here. If your show does not have that. So in the movie, of the new Mortal Kombat movie, they never engage in the tournament of Mortal Kombat. The entire movie is about one day we're gonna do Mortal Kombat. Not this movie though. Not here. No, this movie's about our OC, who's a brand new to the franchise that you've never heard, called like Fisty Magoo. And Fisty has a family that he loves. And in Fisty's family, he's gonna find out that he's related to someone from the Mortal Kombat show. And through being related to someone in the Mortal Kombat show, eventually he too will become a Mortal Kombat. And he will fight for the sake of Outworld or whatever. And that's the Mortal Kombat movie. And here's my thing. I don't give a fuck about any of that. You could just... I just want to see the fucking Mortal Kombat. I want to see the Mortal Kombat tournament. So Twisted Metal Season 1 is about... not that. Twisted Metal only has one thing about it, which is that there is a tournament being set up by Calypso, and if you win Calypso's tournament, which is called Twisted Metal, you get a wish. You cannot see the aggressive finger movements that I'm doing now, but I'm so angry having to say this. But if you win Twisted Metal, you get your wish. That is the only thing most people fucking know about Twisted Metal. Other than it's a car combat. And to be fair, it does have car combat in it. It doesn't have the greatest car combat in it. In Season 1, it doesn't have that much good car combat until the very last episode. And the last episode is really good in terms of actual car combat stuff. But the other ones I feel were just kind of like, okay. It kind of felt like low rent Mad Max to me, to be honest with you. And so... the entire thing is, so that's the whole conceit of Twisted Metal. So instead, in Season 1, what they do is that they introduce this new character called called Drivey Magoo. Actual name is John Doe. And this other character who, in the show, she's called Quiet, but if you want to use we have to be fair to all the sexes, I have to use a generic name for her, but she's called Girly Magoo. And it's their adventures going through and delivering something for another woman called Raven that they have to deliver, because it turns out it takes place in an America where the world ended in 2002. So everything kind of stopped at 2002, and now there's like gates everywhere. Like I said, it's kind of like Mad Max, just not as good. So that's the basic setup, and so that's what they're doing for most of Season 1, and a lot of Season 1 is the relationship between those two characters, Girly Magoo and Drivey Magoo, Jane Doe and Quiet. And to be fair, I do like them. I like them more than I like the Mortal Kombat MC, the original character, Fisty Magoo. Fisty Magoo I'm not a big fan of, and I continue to not be a fan of, and I'm glad that they never introduced him to the games. So the only reason I think that I'm okay with it in Twisted Metal and not with Mortal Kombat is that they tried to release new Twisted Metal games and nobody gave a fuck. And that's just the end of it, right? There's only so much that you can get angry about for a series that you understand and you know, when you know for a fact that nobody gives a fuck. Right? So for Twisted Metal, I'm understanding of the idea of they have to change a lot of things to get it to work, because the last time they tried in 2012, people weren't digging whatever they got. And to be fair, they do still have Sweet Tooth in it. He shows up in the second episode, and I really like Sweet Tooth in this. He's being played by Samoa Joe and Will Arnett, which is a fantastic combo, because Samoa Joe is like this amazing... If you don't know, Samoa Joe is a wrestler currently for AEW. Currently their world champion. Let's go. Sorry, Hangman. I didn't want to see you lose a title, but if you're going to lose a title, I will gladly see it on Joe. I love Samoa Joe. And Samoa Joe does an amazing job of acting through his body, while Will Arnett gets to say all the crazy, silly stuff that he typically does. So I think that's a good combo of them. There's a couple other characters from Twisted Metal, like there's Preacher. And Preacher is very different. The other thing is that Twisted Metal, the TV show, is a comedy, and Twisted Metal isn't really a comedy. I guess some Twisted Metals are comedies. Twisted Metal like 1 and maybe 3, but the series does get progressively darker as I guess until it reaches a point where it gets to its okay, now that I have everything, I have all my raid points. Cool. Let me see what I have here. I can get this. Nope. Okay, so I need more silver, I need more bronze, and I need silver and bronze. I don't need gold material anymore. Okay, cool. I'll adjust it when I go in to fight Reiko for the salty run back, and this is where the video will mostly be here on now. Yeah, that works. Thank you. I already had that, funny enough. Okay. I'll go here. As I was saying. So yeah, Twisted Metal, eventually when you get to Twisted Metal Black, that's when the story gets really dark and fucked up. And that's the part of Twisted Metal, and I know this is probably just not everyone followed Twisted Metal to the eventual path that it went to. And I understand that, but I really, really liked the game, not the gameplay, really the aesthetics of Twisted Metal Black. Twisted Metal Black is like one of the darkest stories, I think, in video game, especially for the PS2 era. If you remember that game released in PS2 era, they have some real good fucked up stories. I can just actually drop one right here of one of them right here.
I was out like the dying heartbeat of a little girl. It was the first time in forever I hadn't felt the burning and the dreams. Boys and girls, those were some wonderful dreams. All my greatest achievements flashed before my eyes. The scale of what I'd done, the sheer volume of people I'd killed, it was breathtaking. But like all good things, it had to end sometime.
So you can see what I'm saying. Like, it's fucked up. Okay, so I really like that aesthetic because I'm a big fan of horror movies. So it works for me. So when they... the reason it took me so long to see... So I really do like the story and backstory of a lot of Twisted Metal stuff. For that reason mentioned before. So when they announced the TV show, they said it was going to be a comedy. And I wasn't sure how it would work as a comedy with all the stuff that they had. And the answer is I feel like they probably found a happy medium. There is some stuff in Season 1 where it's mostly jokes. And a lot of them are like... The one thing it does do that's very annoying, especially as someone who just finished watching through Stranger Things Season 4 and then the beginning of Season 5, is that they like to play songs a whole bunch. Stranger Things, I forgot how much... The legacy of Stranger Things is actually just playing a bunch of fucking songs. Which I completely forgot about. So a lot of the times whenever there's anything that happens, like it's mic drop, and then a new song starts playing, and I guess it kind of fits in some cases. Like they play Cisco's Thong song. I guess the one thing that's nice is it's a lot of songs before 2002. Let's see if I'm actually able to do this. I told you I could one-shot it if I had the black rail. I told you! I just fucked up in that first instant. It's alright. I told you. He told you. Okay. Let me go back here. I won't use the gold apples because someone will yell at me. I'll just use these silver apples. It's okay. You can also just do this naturally with stamina, but I just want to get this event done, and then I will use my excess stamina and I'll convert them back into the other... It's fine. I have plenty of apples. Don't worry about it. So yeah, they like to do that a whole bunch, and sometimes it's pretty hit or miss a lot of the time. I guess it's not just Stranger Things that does it. I guess Guardians of the Galaxy also does it. There's a lot of shows that do it, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Like when Sweet Tooth's about to kill John Doe, and they start singing the thong song, I thought that was pretty good. But I think it's mainly because it's Will Arnett singing, and Samoa Joe doing the acting, and then they have Anthony Mackie like doing the dun-dun-dun-dun, so I thought it was really nice in that instance. But anyway, So yeah, the comedy aspect of it can be a little bit, like, I guess, jarring if you're more used to the grittier nature of it, so that's why it took me a while to start it. But once at some point you realize that it's been around since, it's been around for a very long time, you have to give it a shot. So I gave it a shot. Again, I don't think season 1 is the greatest in the world. I think it's just kind of okay. It's a pretty good, just put it on in the background, enjoy some of it, maybe laugh at a couple jokes, and then just kind of ignore a lot of the other jokes. The thing I do like is that I do think they actually do build up John Doe and Quiet to a pretty good degree. I think a lot of that has to do with the actors. Anthony Mackie is, of course, an excellent actor. If you don't know him by name, he does play the Captain America, who is the current Captain America in the movies. He was in Pain and Gain with The Rock, where he plays a fantastic character in that. Let me tell you about a fucking movie. It's like, if you've never seen Pain and Gain, I suggest watching it, because it's Michael Bay pretending that he knows how to make an indie movie. And it features The Rock, and it features Anthony Mackie, and it features Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, Mark Wahlberg, the man who could stop 9/11 if they just allowed him. And I like him in Pain and Gain, and I think he's a good actor. I do agree that he does kind of look like he's always trying to hold back a secret or something. But for the most part, I like them. And so I think they do a good job both in terms of acting and just making me care about their characters, where it's not a situation like Mortal Kombat where I actually do remember their names, and I'm not like Fisty Magoo. I couldn't even remember who I was complaining about previously in Mortal Kombat. Actually, one thing I have to be sure, because now I'm kind of curious. Now I'm not sure if they're actually original characters or not, because I'm curious, because I could have swore Quiet does sound like it would have been someone from... Hold up. Let me double check on this one just to be sure. Yeah, it's John Doe and Quiet. Based off of the fact that them not having... Well, to be fair, it's not like they would have been... I have to be careful on this, because I'm going to find spoilers on this, and I'm not going to be happy if I get the wrong thing on... I'm not going to be happy on here. No, it looks like he is the... Oh, no, he was in black. Oh, he's the driver of Roadkill. Yes, because Roadkill, when they get Roadkill, I did remember, because they get the Roadkill car near the end of the series, near the end of the season 1. I was like, okay, I know that's a car from Twisted Metal. I didn't know that he was actually in black. Okay, that's funny. So, I take it back. Maybe they did do better than Fisty Magoo there. It was a character from there. I just forgot, because even though he was in black and stuff like that, I completely fucking forgot. Let's see. Was she in the video games? Quiet? It looks like this might be a no on this one. So she might have been an original one. Unlike the characters that are already established in the franchise, Quiet is a brand new character. Okay, and if that's the case, I think she's one of the better brand new characters, because I really did like her story and her brother and stuff like that. But I completely forgot about John Doe, to be honest with you. So that's my bad on that one. So anyway, like I was saying, season 1's okay, and then at the end of it, they reveal what they were driving around for, and I thought that was like, that's pretty funny. And then at the end of that one, they say, we need to prep him for the tournament, Twisted Metal. And then season 2 is about the Twisted Metal tournament, which is Calypso's wish and stuff like that. And then they finally have... So season 2, I think, is like way better than 1. It's like it shits on it, like unbelievable levels of shitting on it, because I think it's amazing. Season 2 is. It does a much better job introducing characters from the game that you care about. Not to say that they didn't introduce characters I care about in the first season. It's just that they were just there kind of like as a Monster of the Week type of thing. They were able to introduce Axel and stuff like that, Baby Doll, a Mr. Grimm, a lot of the cool ones there, a couple others, and it's been much better, because for the most part, I think the tournament starts on episode 6, which is still like halfway into season 2, so I'm still kind of like, that's still kind of fucking annoying. I really wish that it maybe it introduced sooner, but it was fine. And the tournament itself, I think, is pretty good with everything that they're doing in there. And it's been much more enjoyable. There's a lot more, like, I don't know, it just makes a lot more sense now that the show is actually about Twisted Metal itself. So I enjoy it. And I would say check it out if you're... I don't know how it would be like for other fans of Twisted Metal. I'm going to be honest with you, just because I think depending on where you stand is going to be very dependent. Like, what made you get into Twisted Metal? Was it the car combat? Was it the characters? Was it the story? Whatever what it was. People are going to have like different opinions about whether or not this show probably works for them. But I say it works for me. I also say that the music choices was much better in Season 2 compared to Season 1. And they have a scene with Dragula, which I think is great. If you've never heard Dragula, that's the Rob Zombie classic about the grandfather from the Munsters' car, the Dragula. Dig through the ditches and burn through the witches. I hurt my voice doing that fucking song. Point is, it's a good song, and especially related to cars. I would say so. And so, yeah, they have a lot more songs that I think feel better and fit more in line with what the comedy has been much better. I also, even in Season 1, some of the things that made me keep it going was actually they had some pretty decent cuts in terms of Twisted Metal. Like, they keep Harold, the bag that Sweet Tooth asked to wish for at the end of Twisted Metal 1, which has the weird fucked up Sweet Tooth in it. Which is pretty fun. I thought that was a decent enough touch. I was like, okay, I see where you're going with this. But even that version of Sweet Tooth is very different from the game and stuff like that. Like, I feel like game version of Sweet Tooth is a lot more of a... I guess it kind of depends on, again, where you started on Twisted Metal. But the version of Sweet Tooth that I most view is the fucked up psychopath one from Black. Which is like the full-on, like, murderer, going crazy and stuff like that, so... yeah, there you go. There's my... Wookie's opinions on Twisted Metal Season 2, and I'll see how I feel about it after I finish it. Again, a little bit of it is, like, I'm not finished with it, so I'm kind of curious to see where it goes. I actually need to see the trailer for Season 3, because I actually... if they already do the Twisted Metal... So if you don't know how Twisted Metal goes... And another thing that's actually nice is that they introduce the mystical elements of Twisted Metal, which is, say, the evil demons. Are you okay there, Shinpachi? It sounded like you broke something. Alright, he's fine. He's still talking. That was maybe the funniest part, is that he kept talking to me even after he broke his back. Nah, he's serious. He's like, whatever, man. You don't give a fuck about me. You never cared. I'm sorry, Shinpachi. I tried to get you. I couldn't. I failed. I'm a failure in that regard. Alright, I'll go until the end here, just because I'm pretty close to... I'm at the point where the stuff that I need I can probably just get from daily stamina grinding or whatever. It's like here for like 3 weeks. It's fine. It doesn't mean much to me. And I've been talking for a decent bit there. I guess it's just to say some stuff. Well, what other stuff did I gotta go through? Well, let me see. In terms of other games, I'm looking forward to getting back into some other stuff. I did make a post most recently talking about I'm going to that Hololive tournament, which me and my brother are currently preparing for. And by preparing for, I mean we are testing our decks to make sure that they're good, and then also seeing how it's going to do against the best deck, which is Kobo with Radiant Marine. I don't know if it's the best deck, but it's definitely the most used deck. I don't feel like... Actually, it does kind of feel like if you're playing Rogue, I guess it does feel like kind of unbeatable. But I feel like some of the other options are pretty good. Like the... what little I faced of Conets of Promise seems pretty good. And maybe the Ollie variation that uses Ollie and Yofi and Rene as well is probably pretty alright too, which I've seen a couple people also have success with, so interesting choice there. So yeah, I've been preparing for that a little bit. I did see Wicked Part 2, which I thought was okay to good. Not as good as Part 1. I think it probably looks a little bit nicer compared to Part 1, because the color, and you know, the big controversy about that is that they did a real fucked up job in the color grading on those movies, which is a fair criticism, I think. But Part 1 has all, like, the iconic songs from Wicked and stuff like that. And then Part 2 of Wicked, it's got Bach in it. It has Bach's, the ending of Bach's arc, which is a positive. I'll say it's a positive. My sister has confirmed it. She joins Bach Nation with me and my brother. We're pro Bach here. This is a Bach safe zone. And I'm glad to see other people are on the side of Bach now that he's changed into the Tin... I don't have spoilers, who gives a fuck. Now that he's changed into the Tin Man. I only care about FGO spoilers. I won't spoil that, so you won't hear anything about the current final chapter, but let me tell you about Bach and his transformation into the Tin Man, and how he has, like, a look, that he gives a fucked up look to, Glinda, and says, you know what, all my problems were caused by that green woman. I'm like, no, it wasn't, Bach. What the fuck are you talking? Okay, she did cause the tinification. The tinification, but you're better with the tin than you are with the human flesh. That's my bold take on Bach. My Bach fact for you. So yeah, I thought it was okay. Decent enough time. Had a good fun time watching it and seeing the monkeys and doing all that. I mean, unfortunately, the later half of Wicked has never been the strongest point of Wicked. There's a reason why Avenue Q won Best Broadway Show against Wicked. And that's because Avenue Q is excellent throughout all of it. And Wicked has amazing highs and really, really low lows. And a lot of them comes from the fact that it tries to kind of weave its way back into Wizard of Oz, but it doesn't do it in a very satisfactory way. It's actually crazy. If you ever read the Book of Wicked, it's completely different. Though the Book of Wicked is, like, insane. Because if you don't know this, the Wicked book was made during the Bush era. President Bush, the second one, George Bush Jr. So there's a lot of allegory to, like, terrorism and maybe a little bit of 9/11 and, like, some xenophobia, but it's very coded in, like, the 2000s era version of that. Avenue Q is the same way, by the way. I'm not saying that this is, like, a unique thing to only it, because Avenue Q, the one thing that has not really stood the test of time with Avenue Q is the part where they say George Bush is only for now. They change the lyrics for now whenever it happens. I assume right now it's Trump is only for now is my current guess of whatever it was. And before, or maybe Elon, you know, there's plenty of bad people they could pick. I'm getting lost in the sauce, excuse me. I really like Avenue Q. You should check out Avenue Q. And back in my day, when we were growing up with YouTube anime videos, that was the AMV song of choice, was The Internet is for Porn from Avenue Q. That was on everything for Naruto and stuff like that. I'm going to be here for like another 20 minutes if I start talking about like old anime AMVs and how the impact of The Internet is for Porn, which is a song from Avenue Q if you've never heard it. I can't play it here because unfortunately that would get my video demonetized. Probably they would send the YouTube ninjas to come after me because they'd be like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? They probably don't like what I'm talking about right now, to be honest with you. But that song is amazing. And when I was a kid, that was everywhere on the internet. I don't think it's there anymore on the internet. I think it probably is a... if you want to say what stood the better test of time, I still think that if you listen to Avenue Q, I think Avenue Q is the better thing. But obviously, Defy Gravity is definitely the one that a lot of kids, theater kids, kind of heard growing up and continued to be in theater for. Like, obviously, a lot of women want to be in Wicked because they heard the songs of Wicked and they're like, no, this is the role. Where plenty of people like me heard Avenue Q and said, this is great, but this really inspires me in terms of comedy, in terms of how to write, how I view comedy and good, like, heartfelt moments inside of them, and it doesn't really make me be like, okay, but I want to be the internet monster. That's not really... It's not really how I go for it right there. It kind of approaches from a different kind of angle. And I approach it from a different thing. But either way, I think I'm talking too much now. That's the end of the Grind and Talk, everyone. Thank you very much for joining in here. I probably could have tapped another stamina and kept grinding. But like I said, I think I can just do AP as it comes in and just kind of slap someone in there and kind of go from up there. I could rush it, but I've rushed a decent amount here, and I did the other thing, so, you know, I feel good. And I had to release a video at some point, so I feel decent about it. So, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. So, peace out. Bye-bye. Later.